Football is a battleground of emotions where modern-day gladiators clash. But guess what? Amidst the roaring crowds and adrenaline-fueled rivalries, sometimes it's the line between aggressive play and out-of-control behavior that becomes as blurred as a referee's call in the heat of the moment. Now, get a load of this. There's a crew of players who've earned their stripes in the Hall of Shame. They've taken the term playing dirty to a whole new level, becoming legends for all the wrong reasons. Yep, they're the ones we'll be shining a spotlight on today, the ultimate kings of NFL muckiness. So, buckle up, because we're about to uncover the absolute dirtiest players to ever grace the field. Alright, let's first talk about a defensive end who's often remembered as one of the dirtiest players in NFL history, Ndamukong Suh, who had a 13-season career spanning from 2010 to 2022. Sure, the guy's got talent, no denying that, but he's also got a pretty nasty side that's caused some serious concerns. His aggression has even led to fines and suspensions, and the league is keeping a close eye on him for more disciplinary actions. Honestly, it wouldn't be surprising if those fines and suspensions just keep rolling in. You might remember Suh as the #1 overall pick in the 2010 NFL Draft. But what stands out more are his not-so-flattering stats. More personal fouls than any other NFL player in his first 2 seasons. And get this, back in 2012, his fellow players voted him as the NFL's dirtiest player in an anonymous poll. One of Suh's infamous moves? Stomping on opponents when they're already down on the ground. Real classy move, right? It's actions like these that have earned him his less than stellar reputation, showing a side of the game that's anything but sportsmanlike. Now we turn our attention to Albert Haynesworth, the defensive tackle whose career spanned a decade from 2002 to 2011. Haynesworth, hailing from Tennessee, made headlines for reasons that no player would want to be remembered for. A notable incident underscores his involvement in a historic NFL suspension for on-field conduct. His actions led to a 5-game suspension, marking the lengthiest at that time. His incident occurred during a nationally televised game when he cleat stomped on the face of Dallas center Andre Gurode. The aftermath was severe, with Gurode sustaining significant injuries, requiring 30 stitches to address the damage. This disturbing event serves as a stark illustration of how unchecked aggression can tarnish the sport we hold dear. Interestingly, despite the severity of the incident, Gurode chose not to press charges against Haynesworth, but that doesn't change the fact that this event played a major role in shaping Haynesworth's reputation. Moving on to Lyle Alzado. Lyle was known for his aggressive and sometimes downright dirty play on the field. During his career, he built a reputation as one of the dirtiest players. Back in high school, he wasn't the biggest guy on the block, so he decided to experiment with steroids in college. And guess what? He didn't hit the brakes after his Raiders days were done. Steroids revved up Alzado's engine both on and off the field, but it came at a cost. Mood swings barged in, sparking fights, breakups, and an overall unhappy life. Guess what Alzado's legacy includes? He's the reason behind an NFL rule that's like a double whammy, not just a penalty, but an outright ejection. During a 1982 AFC divisional playoff game, Alzado pulled off a stunt that changed the game. He ripped off the helmet of Chris Ward and then, wait for it, chucked the helmet away. That move caused the NFL to take action that the NFL decided, nah, we can't have this. So now, thanks to Alzado's theatrics, if you try that helmet ripping trick, you're not just in trouble, you're out of there! Oh, we can't possibly talk about the dirtiest players in the NFL without mentioning Bill Romanowski, the linebacker with a reputation that's hard to overlook. His career spanned a whopping 16 seasons from 1988 to 2003. Now, brace yourself, because this guy's track record is nothing short of astonishing, and his infamous actions have left a lasting impact. One incident that really grabs your attention is when he spat in the face of wide receiver J.J. Stokes. But that's not all. He managed to break Kerry Collins' jaw with an illegal hit. That's just a glimpse of his aggressive style. But here's when it gets even more telling about his character. In 2003, Romanowski did the unthinkable during a scrimmage with his own teammate. He ripped the helmet off Marcus Williams and then sucker punched him, actually shattering his eye socket. The aftermath of this incident was heavy. Williams' football career ended abruptly, and guess what? It also hit Romanowski in the wallet, hard. A jury awarded Williams a hefty $340,000 after he took Romanowski to court for lost wages and medical expenses. Alright, let's shift our focus to Vontaze Burfict. the linebacker who's left a mark for all the wrong reasons. He had an 8-season career spanning from 2012 to 2019. From the get-go, his history of illegal hits wasn't a secret. It actually dates back to his high school days in Corona, California. Let's rewind to the 2015 NFL playoffs, where things got seriously heated between two AFC North rivals. Vontaze Burfict, not one to hold back, delivered a brutal hit to Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown. The impact was so intense that Brown's body went limp and left him with a concussion. For some, this single hit had far-reaching consequences, altering the course of the former Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver's life forever. Now, when it comes to evidence of being one of the dirtiest players in NFL history, Burfict certainly doesn't fall short. Over the span of those 8 seasons, he got hit with a total of 19 game suspensions for illegal hits on opponents. And if that's not enough, he racked up an additional 4-game suspension for using performance-enhancing drugs. Hold on, folks. There's more to the story. In a standout example of his aggressive play, during Week 4 of the 2019 NFL season, Burfict managed to secure one of the longest suspensions in NFL history, a whopping 12 games. And what was the reason? Repeated violations of unnecessary roughness rules. Burfict's legacy is a reminder that playing dirty has real consequences, not just for the opposing players, but for his own career as well. His story underscores the importance of sportsmanship and respect on the field, and the impact that one player's actions can have on the game and his own reputation. Obviously, we can't have this conversation without bringing up Jack Tatum, known as the Assassin. He had a 10-season career from 1971 to 1980. Known for his incredibly hard hits, Tatum has a reputation as one of the most ferocious hitters in NFL history. It's a reputation that often overshadows his accomplishments in the game, which included 2 national championships at Ohio State and a Super Bowl championship with the Oakland Raiders. But, you see, Tatum's NFL career is largely defined by a single, unforgettable play. It happened on August 12, 1978, during an exhibition game. Tatum delivered a hit on New England Patriots wide receiver Darryl Stingley that had profound consequences. Stingley was tragically left quadriplegic for the remainder of his life due to that hit. Let's finally talk about Conrad Dobler, the guard who had a 10-season career from 1972 to 1981. While more recent names like Vontaze Burfict might come to mind as a contender for the title of the dirtiest player in NFL history, true NFL fans and those well-versed in its history know that Conrad Dobler is the one who truly claims that notorious status. Dobler, an offensive lineman, had a reputation that sent shockwaves throughout the league. His approach to the game was marked by a willingness to injure his opponents, taking it to extreme levels. His notoriety even landed him on the cover of Sports Illustrated in 1977, cementing his title as the NFL's dirtiest player. Among his infamous actions, Dobler is remembered for punching Mean Joe Green, a prominent figure in the NFL, kicking Merlin Olsen in the head, and spitting on Bill Bergey, a Philadelphia Eagles linebacker who had suffered a career-ending injury. Conrad Dobler's legacy is a reminder of the darker side of competition in the NFL, showing that some players were willing to cross lines and prioritize aggression over sportsmanship. The world of football is marked by bone-rattling hits and intense plays that often leave us wondering about the motivations behind such aggressive play. Players like Vontaze Burfict, Lyle Alzado, Ndamukong Suh, Bill Romanowski, Jack Tatum, Albert Haynesworth, and Conrad Dobler have all etched their names into NFL history with their aggressive and sometimes dirty tactics on the field. From early days to recent times, these players remind us that the game's physicality can sometimes take a darker turn. While they've left their mark, they also prompt us to reflect on the importance of sportsmanship and integrity in the midst of intense competition.